Going to be an interesting week 11 of the National Football League. I can promise you, man. Running the ball, stopping the run, it's just not changed. It really hasn't. All right. Without further ado, let's bring in Bill Romanowski. And by the way, I got to tell you this too, brother. Barrett Brooks said to say hi to you. He said, that's my dog, man. I mean, I said, I'm getting Romo on. He goes, dude, I love that guy. So Barrett says hi to you, brother.
He's a good man. He's a good man. So, great to be on with you, Dan.
Appreciate it. Hey, right out of the gate here, have you been surprised with the play of Jalen Hurts?
I think, pretty blown away. But what they've done, Dan, is they put the pieces around him. They've got a really good defense. They're executing at a really high level. It's because you got talent. When you have talented football players, they're able to go out and execute for you. They're able to catch the football. They're able to run the football and block and do all those things. So at the end of the day, they put a lot of great pieces around Jalen, and he's executing, and it's great to see.
Bill, help me out and tell everybody here. I want to give you some numbers here about the Eagle defense. This is the last 5 weeks, Bill. 124 yards rushing, 134, 144, 168. And against Washington in the loss, they gave up 152 yards. Is there anything you can do this time of the year to help that number? Because to me, it looks like it's getting worse as the season's going on. Is there anything you can do schematically? Because you are who you are in your roster.
Yeah. You know what, Dan? I mean, it comes down to this. You got to put 8 in the box to stop the run. And if you put 8 in the box to stop the run and you can't stop the run, you're not going to put a 9th guy in the box. So there's really not a lot you can do. There's one thing about stopping the run, and this is something that George Seifert used to say. He said, I can call the perfect defense for you guys, but you guys have to go out and execute. A group of men on Philly have to decide on defense that they're going to kick some serious butt and start rocking people and get physical up front and stop the run. And right now it's not happening. And if they don't fix it, that's going to hurt them down the stretch here.
Absolutely. Bill, I say this to everyone. Playing defense is not a position. It's an attitude. If you don't have the attitude to play it, I don't care what kind of scheme you have, what kind of defensive coordinator you think you have. You got to have people going out there and want to eat. And you got guys out there right now milling around, and, they kind of changed it to a 2-gap technique, which means the linebackers like you get fame and slugs like me at the 2-gap. Some guys I just don't think have bought into what they're doing there in Philadelphia. I want to take you over now to your 49ers. Bill, I don't want to say this, and I don't mean this, but the Trey Lance injury may have been the best thing happened to this football team, and I know it's horrible to say, but at the end of the day, is that not the truth?
Dan, it's the first thing I said. I did a bunch of interviews in the Bay Area, and the first thing I said is this might be the best thing that ever happened to the San Francisco 49ers. And they're going to be a better football team with Garoppolo. They're going to execute better. Hey, the jury's still out on Trey. The jury was still out on Trey Lance. And I don't know about you, but what I see in Trey Lance is I see fear in his eyes, is what I see. And when you've got a quarterback that has got fear in his eyes, I don't know if you can fix that, Dan. I really don't. And I think, Garoppolo, bringing on Christian McCaffrey, they're getting healthier right now. they're going to be tough to beat down the stretch because they play really good defense and they can run the football. You got to be able to run the football still. I still believe in that. And I think that's, some of these teams that are just think they can pass their way into the playoffs. Hey, they're kidding themselves. You got to be able to be physical up front and win in the running game, and that's going to help you in the passing game.
Bill, they're in a really weird place right now, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is 9-29 as a head coach without Jimmy G. And Jimmy G as a starter is 41-17. I mean, he goes to another NFC title game and he goes to another Super Bowl. Are you really going to move off of him in the offseason and give the keys to a guy in training wheels who you and I both look like he's got happy feet in the pocket? And I'm with you, man. Guys who have happy feet in the pocket, to me, you have to have courage in the pocket when you're a quarterback. And I don't know if it's a courage thing with him or not, but you see the guys taking off that run out of the pocket. I don't think they have the courage to get hit back there. So you're going to move off him?
Yeah. You know what? I think if they are really successful this year, and here's what I think it's going to take, Dan. I think it's going to take a Super Bowl victory.
Wow.
I really do. I think that's what it's going to take for the 49ers winning the Super Bowl and Jimmy G being a big part of that. And if they're able to get over the hump and do that, that will probably be what it is to secure a spot for him. But other than that, hey, he's already been to the Super Bowl and they weren't able to close the deal. So because of that, I think that is, what made them, go out and leverage a bunch of draft picks and give up part of their future for Trey Lance. And I tell you what, I wonder if he's a bust. I'm just saying if, who are they gonna hold accountable? Is it gonna be John
Bill,
Lynch?
I'm with you.
I don't know if it's going to be John Lynch or Kyle, but I would hate to see, who made that decision. And if it's both of them, both of them might be held accountable and it might be the end of them in San Francisco.
Boy, they gave up a lot of draft capital, too, to get them there. Two more questions on some teams here, and I want to get into some of the stuff that you're doing here in a second, Bill. The addition of Christian McCaffrey means what to Jimmy Garoppolo and to Deebo Samuel and to the Niners? I mean, I'm with you, Bill. I think now they're getting healthier, and I think when you get Trey Williams on the field, that kid Warner too. Boy, I'll tell you what, Bill, that linebacker they have, he is a ball hawk. I mean, they got a lot of pieces on that team that could get it done.
They really do. And, they built that team around their defensive line is what they did, Dan. And they do. What Christian is another weapon for them. A guy that can catch out of the backfield, a guy that you can motion out of the backfield and get active in the passing game, and a guy that can run the football. There's really not much Christian can't do. So it's a nice weapon for them. And as soon as I saw them, make that move for Christian, I texted Christian. I said, get ready. You might be in the Super Bowl this year, So, I was fortunate I got to play with Christian's dad. So because of that, I know Christian, and great kid, works really hard. And, he wanted out of Carolina, and I don't think he could have gone to a better place.
Absolutely. Bill, you mentioned the Broncos. Have you been surprised with the lack of production from Russell Wilson being there in Denver? Bill, have you been surprised? Have you been surprised by the lack of production in Denver with Russell Wilson?
You know what? Here's what I see in Russell Wilson. What Russell used to be great at is extending plays and his ability to move around the pocket, get out of the pocket. And because of his speed and quickness, he was able to make a lot of things happen. And he would, make these great throws after he got, out of the pocket and away from 2 or 3 or 4 pass rushers. And what he's not right now is he has lost the step. He's
Yeah.
not that same guy that he was a couple years ago. And because of that, he's not able to run away from the defensive lineman the way he used to. And, the Broncos are talented at receiver. They've got great players. They got a running game. They got a good offensive line, but he's not the same guy. And I don't think he's ever been a phenomenal pocket passer. And because of that, I think maybe they made a really big mistake.
Absolutely. Bill, I want to get into 2 things that you're doing. I want to get into Nutrition 52 here in a second here, but Rev Social Network, explain what this is. You're involved with a new a social network here. Tell me what this is.
Yeah, I just took a position, head of business development and corporate wellness with them. And, because of Nutrition 53 and my involvement there, it's easy to handle corporate wellness. And you know what? I really never big on coming out and talking about politics at all. And I stay away from that. But one thing that I feel strong about, Dan, is being able to speak and have my voice heard. And if I'm a Republican or if I'm a Democrat, I want to be able to say what I want to say and not be shut down because of that. And that's one thing that Rev Social Network is really big about. And it's one of the reasons why I'm involved with them is because they allow you to speak your voice and your word, and you're not going to get shut down. And they're very secure, and you're not going to have, multiple accounts under certain, under certain people. You have to own a cell phone to get an account. And so I really like the security of it. And I like the ability that I can speak my voice and have it heard and not be shut down or canceled because of it.
So it's a platform that people can go to, and within reason, the guardrails aren't where it is, and it's not skewed to one demographic, either liberal or conservative. It's wide open.
Yeah. And hey, I always say to people, fiscally, I lean to the right, and socially, I lean to the left. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I would love to be, and now I'm able to speak that way and not be shut down and not have issues with Nutrition 53 because of that. And I'm excited to join the team there. They're a really great group. And I think we're going to do some amazing things and allow people to speak their voice.
I love it there. Hey, Nutrition 53 for the holidays, Bill. It's one of the absolutely best websites. I got a box a long time ago. My cousin lost a ton of weight using it. And it's been something that's been very, something that's been something front and center with you because you've always been huge on this stuff. I'll talk about a little bit. I love when I hear you talk about it too, Bill, because it's about your passions.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's why this wasn't about making money for you. This was about something that you loved. So talk about Nutrition 53 a little bit.
The big thing when I left the league, I was 245 pounds. I wanted to get leaner. I wanted to stay fit. And you do that by eating the right things. And starting Nutrition 53, our flagship product is Lean One, which is a fat burning meal replacement. And to me, it's not about necessarily losing weight. It's about losing body fat. That's the key thing. It's the fat around your organs and around your body that really affect you. I want to make people healthier. And Nutrition 53 has given me, the vehicle to be able to help people lose weight, help people sleep better, and help them think better with our Lean One Neuro, help them sleep better with our Lean One Sleep, and then our Lean One Fat Burning Meal Replacement allows people to, in a really good tasting way, get leaner and more fit just having a shake a day. And I make it taste really good for people. So I have this saying, losing weight, getting lean and fit never tasted so good with Lean One.
When's the last time you had a Twinkie, Bill?
Dan, that's funny you bring that up, because I used to love Twinkies when I ate Twinkies all the time when I was 8 years old. But I think it's probably been, I bet it's been since 8th grade. Since I've had a Twinkie. Yeah.
Back in New Britain.
How about a devil dog?
Oh my God! I could eat I could eat a box of those things when I was younger. Now, hey Bill, I eat a Tic Tac. I gained 15 pounds.
You remember Ring Dings?
Loved the. Oh my God, the wheels too, man.
Yeah.
The ho-hos too. Those Yankee Doodles, man. You put the Yankee Doodles in the milk, you dunk them, man. It's a bad. Hey Bill, I got you, man. Hey, all the great success to you, Bill. I mean, I followed your career a long time when you were at BC. I always really admired what you did too. The 4 Super Bowl championships. You're a Connecticut guy like me too, man. So thank you so much for doing this, brother. I appreciate it. Happy holiday to you. Great success with 53 and the new Rev Social Network, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Take care.
You got it. Bill Romanowski. We'll take a quick time out. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football